I don't actually, because while, you know, you hear all the time that, oh, print is dying and all of that, but that might be the case in some respects, but in the other, like the other side of journalism, the other part of the newspaper industry is the online portion of it. It's, you know, the constantly posting stories, photos, video, all of that sort of aspect to it. And so there's so much more than just the print side of it. And so while one side might be declining, so many other pieces are rapidly increasing. So I think that they balance each other out pretty well. Pro for both really is that they live forever a little bit, but there's something nice about being able to physically hold something, physically able to see it, hold it in your hands, you know, hand it to somebody in class or something and say like, oh, look at this story, look at this photo I took or anything. But then on the flip side, a pro of the online is you don't have to worry about, you know, is the color going to get distorted, the quality, anything like that. So there are pros to both. I would say the biggest con with print is it is so, like, there is such fast turnover that pretty much with a print product, once you publish a new one, the old one is kind of forgotten. And so then if you're trying to go back to one 2 or 3 weeks from then, it's so much easier to just find it online, whether it's on a website, you know, a PDF of it, anything like that. Oh, definitely. I think it is, because, you know, so many different news outlets, whether it's papers or online only publications or anything, that's how you connect with your audience. It's how you tell them what's going on. It's another way for you to share stories, for you to share facts, statistics, information. You're getting all of that, and ultimately it's where people are looking. So if people are using social media as a way to get information and spread information, why not play into it? You know, and that's one of our mindsets here is we know that that's where our audience is, so that's where we need to be. So I think it's definitely a good news source, and it's a good way for people to balance out, you know, some of the rumors you see or anything like that versus what's actually true and verified. I think school newspapers are so important, both at the high school and the college level, because in some aspects, it's some people's first, you know, introduction to journalism, whether they're working with it or they're reading it or anything, but it's also giving people a platform. We pride ourselves on being the student voice, and so that's what our opinion section is for students, professors, faculty, staff, all of those people to put their ideas out there and, you know, let people know, and for us to tell people what's going on. And it's so easy in the age of social media to just take everything at face value, and, you know, you need those people that are there fact checking that information and all that. And to have that in a school setting, and especially on a college campus, to me is so important, because we're that primary age group that is relying on social media for everything. And so you need somebody that's going to be actively putting the facts on social media and making sure that everything is true and verified. And without college media, student media, however you might have it, you don't have that as much. And then there's just no stepping stone for the people who do want to be journalists to go from a high school or a college class into the professional industry. And it's something you have to work your way up to. I think part of the reason, you know, the numbers are smaller now is just because of online. You know, it's so much easier to have it on your phone or your iPad, laptop, whatever it might be, and it's just more convenient. You can take it with you everywhere. You can pull something up at a moment's notice and not have to have, you know, a paper, or if you don't have access to a paper, have to wait until you can find one. So in some ways I think that might be better for the environment, because it's cutting down the number of papers and, you know, trees and recycling and all of that. But in some respects, I wouldn't say that newspapers are the main, like, environmental factor for some of, like, you know, the environmental issues we're having. So it is probably helping the environment to some extent, but I wouldn't say that it's like a huge contributing cause to anything. It's nice to be able to physically hold something, to have a tangible, like you said, book, CD, magazine, newspaper, whatever that might be. But ultimately, just the society we live in and the technology we have access to, pretty much everything's digital now. Some people would rather have that tangible, hold the book when they're reading it. Some people would rather have their iPads. I think there's merit for both. It's nice to have options, and it's nice to be able to know you can go to multiple different sources, whether it's print, online, a website, social media, to get news and stay connected with what's going on around you.